In this example, we're going to discuss the language of subtraction and all of the different ways we may speak about subtraction given a symbolic form. So, reading this from left to right, you might say this as 5 minus 3. So I'm going to write that in the minus language. So let's just make a context for this so we can make sense of the other types of language. So when might you do 5 minus 3? So let's think about you have 5 apples and you eat 3 apples. And we want to know how many you have left. So this is a takeaway problem, and now let's just connect it from the different types of language. So now we have subtracted from language, so it wouldn't be 5 subtracted from 3, it's the 3 apples that you're subtracting from the 5 apples. So notice the direction of the numbers reverses, and it makes a difference in the problem. So this would be 3 subtracted from 5. Now let's look at less than language. So you would have 3 apples less than 5 apples if you were to write this using less than. So this is 3 less than 5. So notice in both of these situations, subtracted from and less than language, the numbers are actually reversed in the corresponding phrase than the symbolic language. And it makes a difference. So 5 less than 3 is definitely different than 3 less than 5. Now decreased by language. So we want to have 5 apples and we decrease the number of apples by 3. So this one would actually correspond to the symbolic version from left to right. So we'd have 5 decreased by 3. So now let's just go through this process again when we have a number with a negative sign. And remember, like we learned in the last unit, this is the subtraction sign in this phrase. This is referring to the negative sign of 3. So 5 is positive, 3 is negative, and this is a subtraction sign. And typically when we're subtracting a negative, or even adding a negative, we like to put the second number in parentheses, and this is our way of showing that this is the sign of the number as opposed to an operation. So that will help you make sense of what the problem is asking. So here we have 5 minus negative 3. So the minus corresponds to the subtraction, and the negative corresponds to the sign of the 3. Now subtracted from language, that would be negative 3 is being subtracted from positive 5 or just 5. Less than language, so we have negative 3 less than 5. And finally, decreased by language, this would be 5 decreased by negative 3.